Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new edition of Sports Hounds, only on A2DRadio.com. We are live at the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mountie from New Jersey. The driving experience is closer than you think, only at BMW of Atlantic City. You can visit them at BMWofatlanticcity.com. And here's your host, Brad Ryer.
Good evening, everybody. Rob will not be in tonight, so it'll be myself and Frank, the Tank, and welcome to the show, Frank. And
thank you.
Thanks for filling in.
No problem.
Okay, Frank, we're gonna open up with the obvious situation that happened yesterday, and that was the Eagle game yesterday. Now, being a Giant fan, all I can say really is, I'm proud of the way the Giants played yesterday. They gave you guys, we're a 2-win team this year, so obviously there are some issues with this team, which we're not going to get into because it'd take me at least 6 hours to go through all their problems. But I thought the Giants came out and they really responded and made the Eagles work for that win. I mean, there's no question about that. They came out ready to play. I don't know if the Eagles' defense came out ready to play, but certainly the Giants were well prepared by the coaching staff, and that hasn't happened all season.
It hasn't happened all season. I mean, I got to give the Giants offense a lot of props for exploiting some of that Eagles defense. I know we haven't been great with our middle linebacking core, but the Giants picking up slant route after slant route after slant route, it really shows what one of the major weaknesses of this Eagles defense is so far. I mean, they've been sleeping all this West Coast strip. They've been giving up a lot of points, and I think just going out far west and then coming back to the East Coast, I think it's been wearing them out a lot. But we're going to see once that home game on Christmas is going to occur. But
I would be very, very concerned if I'm an Eagle fan with the way that defense played yesterday. Because, I got to be honest with you. The Giants have not scored 30 points since December of 2015. Now, that's all of last season and all this season.
Yeah.
We're talking about with two games to go in 2015. They were basically for the longest time. Eli Manning was picking the Eagles apart yesterday.
Yeah,
and he finally had a situation where he had some time for the most part, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I mean, he threw for 433 yards.
Man, that's something.
That's a lot of yardage. And,
it is.
Listen, if it wasn't for a play at the end of the game where that could have been on a certain day, that could have been called pass interference right at the end, the Giants could have taken the lead. Now, the way the Giants have played this season, I have no question but to say that, without a doubt, if the Giants kicked the ball off to the Eagles, even if there were 20 or 30 seconds to go, which I believe it probably would have been, the Eagles probably would have come down and gotten the field goal and found a way to beat them in overtime.
Right.
But that's another story for another time.
Absolutely, another story. But it was a very entertaining game, and kept me off the edge of my seat.
I got to tell you, I would be very, very concerned about that. I don't think they played well, the Eagles. I thought Foles was pretty good. Not great,
right,
but he was pretty good. He didn't make the big mistake, which is very, very important. He kept the team moving when he had to, but I got to be honest with you. For all intents and purposes, the Eagles really only had drives to score 20 points.
Yeah.
The one drive that they had that they scored a touchdown was off of Eli Manning interception, which, as a Giant fan, that's forgivable because it happens.
It happens.
Teams are going to throw interceptions, but my goodness, 3 blocked kicks yesterday.
I don't think that has ever happened. Probably since like the 90s. I was looking up a stat that I think the last time that's happened, where a block kick, a blocked field goal,
And a blocked extra point.
and a blocked extra point. Let me find it. I know it was really interesting fact.
That is disgraceful. And look, I'm not going to take any credit away from the Eagles' special teams. That was a great job, but the Giants have to play a huge part in that.
Absolutely.
My problem is this, okay? After the blocked extra point, okay, you could see what the Eagles were doing. As a matter of fact, they got a penalty for it the second time on the second extra point because they tried the same play.
They tried it, yeah.
And they got a penalty. They got a penalty for it. And as a matter of fact, the Giants ended up getting a first down, and then they ended up getting a touchdown.
They did.
And you would think that the special teams coach would see that and say, okay, you know what? We have a problem.
Yep.
Because they're doing that little formation where they're getting the little push in and getting right up the middle, and we got to stop them. But to allow that to happen on a punt and have nobody, I mean, there is no excuse for a guy to come right down the middle. I just don't understand how that could possibly happen.
I don't know either, but
and the kicker,
the special teams definitely saved the Eagles that game.
Absolutely. But for the kicker, I mean, are you looking at the guy coming in? The guy's coming right down the middle.
Right.
Why wouldn't you maybe take I've seen it a million times in college.
Yep.
Where guys when they see a guy coming in, because it happens a lot in college.
It does.
If they see a guy coming in, okay, I know Brad Wing, you're left-footed. Run to the left-hand side and kick it. You may not kick it more than 25, 30 yards, but at least you'll get the ball to like the 50 or the 45 of the Eagles, instead of just kicking it right into the guy's hands. I mean, you can't do that. You got to be smarter than that. And of course, again, this is a 2-win team, so of course this is what they do, and they show you why they're a 2-win team. But
right.
If you're a Giant fan, this has been going on all season. If it's not one thing, it's another. Yesterday, the special teams completely broke down. I mean, they tried to play Landon Collins yesterday.
They did.
He lasted half of the first quarter.
Barely.
Yeah, and then he was out. So I mean, their defense is banged up, but I thought the defense played admirably yesterday. But the special teams was the story yesterday, and you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit, because you know what, they found a way to win a football game that they were outplayed in, and still managed to come away with the win. And now they can come home, get some home cooking, and play the Raiders, who, in my opinion, are a terrible football team. To not be able to beat the Dallas Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliott at home when you're when you need the win to make the playoffs is an unforgivable win. You can't lose that game if you're the Oakland Raiders. Or whatever they are. Are they the Oakland Raiders, or are they the Los Angeles Raiders?
Well, I mean, they're in Oakland until 2020.
Yeah, I give up. Or are they the Las Vegas Raiders? Whatever they are.
Yeah.
They can't be losing to the Dallas Cowboys. And even with the ridiculous measurement, which we're now using pieces of paper to measure football games, that's a terrible loss. Frank, I want to go around the league because obviously, I think and I congratulate the Eagles not only for winning the game, but for clinching a first-round bye. And no doubt they will get a home field advantage through the playoffs. So you're going to have to go to Philadelphia to win, folks.
Absolutely. But before you go on to Around the League, we got a couple comments going into YouTube right now. We got Ryan. We got in the live chat. We got Ryan Brodo. He's saying the Eagles won't be able to win anything in the playoffs if the defense doesn't figure it out.
I agree with that.
And including with Joseph Lewis, who also said agree. David Rosca, our Rams fan from Arizona, said that his Rams kicked ass yesterday. Oh man, the 40-7 blowout against.
Yeah, I was just gonna get around to that.
That was something.
And I know. Listen, I know the Seahawks lost a couple more guys yesterday. They lost. Who was it? One of their big time linebacker. I know they lost yesterday. But you can't lose 42-7. I don't care who you're playing. For the Seattle Seahawks to lose to the Rams 42-7, that's disgraceful. And at this point, it looks to me like the Seattle Seahawks are in complete disarray. Would you agree with that?
I agreed. I mean, you of all the teams, it had to be the Los Angeles Rams that would exploit the Legion of Boom. I mean,
well, listen, the Rams. We saw the Rams are a good team.
They are a good team. They really defied a lot of expectations this year.
And I'll tell you what, if I'm an Eagle fan, playing them without Wentz, I'd be really concerned about that team. Because that team can score.
They can score. You mean you have Todd Gurley. I mean you have Cooper Kupp. You have a lot of offensive weapons that you can use. I mean the defense is a little bit scary too. You have Aaron Donald. You have Alec Ogletree. That 1-2 punch. It's worrying.
They overwhelm Seattle's offensive line. And I know Seattle doesn't have a great offensive line, and the Eagles have a much, much better offensive line than Seattle does. But, I got to give kudos to the Rams. And, again, I would be – if I'm an Eagle fan, that would be a very concerning game for me. If you had Wentz, I think with Wentz, the Eagles are head and shoulders above the rest of the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care who they play, but with with Nick Foles on the team and Nick Foles being the quarterback, I just don't know if the defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. I just don't know. They're going to have to show. They're going to have to prove it.
They have to prove it. I mean,
they're going to do it. They're going to do it against good teams.
Yeah, and you have 2 home games to set yourselves up against a really pissed off Raiders team and a Dallas team that's basically fighting for a playoff spot at this point.
That might be, and I'll be honest with you, Dallas now has Ezekiel Elliott back.
That is true.
He will be playing, and I believe the Cowboys play Seattle next week. Do they not?
They do play Seattle next week in Jerry World. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I as much as I can't stand the Cowboys, I think they're going to be playing the Eagles with their playoff lives on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to
be
trust
something.
them.
Yeah.
Right now, the Falcons are 8-5.
8-5.
Okay. Yep. The Panthers are
10-4.
10-4. The Falcons are 8-5. The Falcons better win tonight against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I know they're banged up, but there is no excuse. Okay, Tampa Bay is 4-9. You better beat this team because
you have to beat Tampa.
If you lose to Tampa, okay, Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. Because I do not – I know the Eagles hate the Cowboys. I know the fans hate the Cowboys. But let's be honest, okay? In Game 16 in a league where the Eagles are probably going to already have home field advantage clinched throughout the playoffs, I would be absolutely shocked if Doug Peterson played any of his top players in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And I know the Eagles will try, and I know
they will.
They'll play for their fans. I understand that, but – If you're the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not taking any chances. I know Tom Coughlin did it against the Patriots in 2007. I remember very well that the Giants didn't care. They were already in the playoffs, and they had everything to lose by doing it, and he put all his guys out there because he wanted his guys to be in top shape. But you know what? The Eagles have already proven that regardless of what happens, this team is going to roll.
It is.
Don't tempt fate by allowing guys like Zach Ertz and Alshon Jeffrey and Nick Foles, for that matter, to be in their Game 16 when the playoffs are what matter this year.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, you've had too good of a regular season to tempt fate and then get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs because you went and just had to beat the Cowboys.
Right.
It's not that important. It may be a little bit of a sore point for Eagle fans, but you've already made your point, guys.
You made the point.
You made your point. You beat the living daylights out of Dallas.
We did.
When the game mattered to you.
But I think the one thing is if they want to play their starters, you have to take a look on what's going to happen with Dallas on Week 16. I mean, they are facing Seattle at Jerry World. So I think if Seattle pulls off the win, that officially eliminates Dallas from the playoffs. So I think once Dallas is eliminated from the playoffs, I think the Eagles will probably go smooth sailing for week 17.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you really think that that's going to happen? I mean,
I doubt it. From what I've seen so far, I doubt it.
Here's what I'm going to say. They're back in Dallas.
Yep.
Ezekiel Elliott is playing, okay? That team in the first quarter, if the Seahawks cannot be behind 17-0
right
after the first quarter, then we have a shot at seeing that happen. But something tells me that team is going to be so psyched and they're going to be playing on such a high adrenaline level of play they may blow the Seattle Seahawks out in the first quarter,
Right.
and it may not be a game, and that would be something that could easily happen because
could
the way the
happen.
Seahawks played last week, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I just think that they're too banged up and their offense isn't good enough.
The offense isn't good enough.
It's not good enough.
But you still have that really good trio on what is left of the Legion of Boom. You have Bobby Wagner. You have Frank Clark. You have Cliff Averill. Those are going to be your big three. That's going to be trying to take Dak out of the game as much as possible and limit Zeke's carrying opportunities. So it's going to be one to watch. I'll be keeping my eyes on that game.
It will, but I have a very bad feeling that Dallas Eagle game is going to mean everything to Dallas.
It is.
At the end of the season. My faith in the Seahawks kind of went right out the window with that game. That was you can't lose a game like that badly.
You can't.
You know, you just can't. I mean, the Seahawks could not move the ball at all. You know, and
Right.
defensively they could not stop the Rams. And the Cowboys have guys that can exploit that defense right now.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they don't have Sherman to guard Dez.
Right.
You know, and I don't even think Dez is all that great anymore. I think he's more of a red zone offensive player more than anything
or
else.
a guy who can make that big catch. But other than that, you just don't see much from Dez anymore. I mean, you have other reliable weapons like Jason Witten.
No, they've got guys.
Yeah, they got guys. You have Jason Witten. You have Cole Beasley. I mean,
and Beasley is really good.
He is really good on
He
third
is-
downs.
he
I'll
is-
give him that.
Yeah, I like Beasley. I think he's a real good player. I think that the Cowboys are going to come out and they're going to smoke them. I just think Seattle I think Seattle's done.
Seattle's done.
I think they are. And as I said, I think that what's going to happen right now is the Atlanta Falcons have to win tonight.
Yeah.
They have to win this game and make sure that they do nothing worse than be in a tie with the Cowboys.
Right.
If they are in a tie with the Cowboys, come the end of the season, they own the tiebreakers.
Right.
Okay? Because they played already and they beat the Cowboys 27-7.
Mm-hmm.
So the Falcons have the tiebreakers on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Will the big three in that division be your three playoff teams? Well, the Saints are going to get the Saints.
I think the Saints will have the opportunity to clinch. I think it's if
the Saints clinch if the Falcons lose a game.
Yeah, if the Falcons lose.
If the Falcons run the table, they
Right.
win the division because they would have the tiebreaker with the Saints because they won that first game against the Saints.
That's right.
Okay, Carolina, meanwhile, Carolina has to win their games. And let's see who are the Panthers playing this week? They're playing Tampa Bay.
They're playing Tampa Bay
at home.
At home.
They're going to kill Tampa Bay.
They'll beat Tampa Bay regardless.
They'll beat Tampa Bay. So it's all going to come down to the end, and the Falcons are going to be playing the Saints.
Yeah, at the Superdome.
And I wouldn't be too sure that the Falcons are.
That's going to be a tough
going
one.
to. I mean, that it's going to be tough for them to win that game. That's why I'm saying, if the Falcons take care of business tonight, and then they win the game next week against. Well, they have the Saints. No, they have the Saints next week.
They have the Saints next week.
They have the Saints next week. So let's see. Their last game. Who would it be against the Panthers?
It would be against the Panthers at home.
Okay, they're at home.
Yep.
So they will probably lose to the Saints.
Right.
And then beat the Panthers. That would make if the Panthers split, they'd be what 11-5.
That would put the Panthers at 11-5 in a playoff team.
And that would make the
Falcons
the Saints
10-6 and making the playoffs. And New Orleans would win the division and make the playoffs.
Yeah, and they would be 11. The New Orleans would be 11-5, and
they would be 11-5 or possibly 12-4.
Right, and also the Cowboys, even if they win out, they're going to be 10-6.
Yeah,
they lose tiebreakers.
They lose tiebreakers. They're out.
Yeah, so they're going to be out. So the Cowboys need a miracle.
They do.
They need a miracle. They need the Falcons to lose tonight. Now, God forbid if the Falcons do lose, then that takes.
I don't see it happening. I mean, I know the Bucs have been fighting all year, but just nothing has been clicking for this team. I think
It's a division game.
It's an important division game.
And listen, after seeing what the Giants were able to do against the Eagles, I do think that the Bucks are going to come out and play hard tonight. But I just don't see it. This game is way too important for the Falcons to lose. You know what? I know the Falcons lost the Super Bowl game, but you know what? They're going to be out there, and they know how to win these kind of games. And I think that they've been playing a lot better in the second half of the season. And I think a game like this, I think they're going to find a way to win. I can't imagine that they would lose a game like this. You can't do that. You can't do that. Getting to some other games.
All right.
Okay. Who cares about the Broncos and Colts? The Lions are going to take a miracle to win. The Lions are not going to win.
Yeah, there's no way the Lions are going to win.
I think the Chiefs are probably going to back in and win their division because San Diego just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills beat the Dolphins 24-16.
Right.
Big win for Buffalo. That makes them 8-6.
Makes them 8-6.
They're even with the Ravens now.
Yeah.
Who won their game in Cleveland. And a lot of people were picking the Browns. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how anybody can pick the
The
Browns.
Baltimore defense has been pretty good so far this year. I mean, in fantasy, I played Baltimore. They did a lot for me this game.
Listen, they had one bad game against, I think, the Rams, right?
Baltimore, yeah, I believe one.
They had one game. They had one game against the Rams where where the defense was terrible. But for the most part, I mean, other than playing against Pittsburgh, they've been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent defensively as well as the here and there on the offensive side of the ball. But
now here's a game that I wanted to just mention.
Okay.
Shame on the Tennessee Titans. You cannot lose to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't care if that game is in Mars. You cannot lose to that team when you are trying to get into the playoffs.
Exactly.
That is a terrible loss.
A very bad loss
you
indeed.
You cannot lose that game. And you know what? I understand that Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing very, very well for the 49ers.
He has.
And he has. And you know what? They put that game on right after the Giant game. So we could all see no, it wasn't after the Giant game. It was after the it was after one of the games. Now I can't remember. It was
it the
no, it was after the
Buffalo the Cincinnati Minnesota game?
It was after the four. It was after the Steeler Patriot game.
Oh yeah.
They put it on right at the end, so they showed the end.
Right.
And the Titans had just kicked a field goal to go ahead. And with like a minute to go, the 49ers had the ball with 2 timeouts, and Garoppolo marched them right down the field.
They did.
And they kicked the field goal. I'm sorry. You cannot allow a guy who's playing, his 4th or 5th NFL game?
Yeah, his 5th NFL game.
If you are a playoff team, you cannot allow that guy with limited offensive resources to march down the field and beat you. That is an inexcusable loss. And for that team, they should – I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, they can just look at themselves in the mirror and say, what the heck just happened?
Exactly.
Because that is as bad as it gets. Jacksonville goes, and they pound the living daylights out of Cincinnati yesterday.
Or Houston. It was Houston they pummeled.
Oh, it was Houston. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Bengals got pummeled. I'm sorry. The Bengals got pummeled by the Minnesota Vikings.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You could see that coming.
Yeah, that was something expected.
Vikings on the road 3 games in a row against 3 very good teams 3 weeks in a row. Come home to a bad team like the Bengals. That was kind of predictable. And boy, did they lay a licking on them.
They did.
Now I want to get to the one game which I'm sure you all want to talk about, and that was the that was the Patriots and the Steelers.
Oh, man.
Frank, what is a catch?
Well, if you get here's what I thought was the legal definition of a catch. You get both hands on the ball. You either have 2 feet down and at least running a little bit to secure control.
Isn't there a football move necessary?
A football move has to be necessary.
Okay. Now, did that ball hit the ground?
Are we talking about the Jesse James play?
Yeah.
Okay. The ball.
Was there conclusive evidence that the ball hit the ground? Because I saw that play at least 5 or 6 times. Okay.
Right.
Yes, I did see the ball move.
The ball moved, but
didn't
I don't know.
Did it hit the ground? Because I didn't see it hit the ground. If the ball didn't hit the ground, why is that not a catch?
Right.
I mean,
don't
just
even
because
know.
you juggle it, I mean, maybe the ball hit the ground, but there was the call on the field was a touchdown.
Right.
I do not see how there was any conclusive
I mean,
evidence.
if it wasn't a touchdown, then it should have been like, all right, you could have played the ball at the 1 yard line. You could have ran it
but
up.
they couldn't do that because he caught the ball and then basically rolled into the end zone.
Rolled into the end zone and nobody touched him.
Nobody touched him, and the ball moved, but I didn't see the ball hit the ground. That's my whole problem. He had possession of the ball when his arms hit the ground. Okay,
Right.
his arms hit the ground, but it didn't look like the ball ever hit the ground. And the ball popped up, just spun for a second.
Yeah, it like spun.
It spun, but it didn't. I mean, that's just I don't get that. That's you cannot overrule the call on the field in that situation.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching the replay right now. Like he got it. He reached.
Can you see?
Oh, I think I saw it.
Did the ball hit the ground?
It did hit the ground.
Okay, if it hit the ground, which I didn't see, I couldn't see.
It hit the ground. It was so close. Like once he reached, I think part of that ball bounced right off the ground.
Yeah, because I couldn't see the ball actually hitting the ground. I did see it spin. Okay, but I didn't actually see it hit the ground. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think there was enough evidence there to turn the game around. But boy, I mean the New England Patriots, they are really the kings of Lady Luck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The next play is an interception.
They're like the Alabama of the NFL.
It amazes me because listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Tom Brady or Gronk, okay? Because Gronk just said, okay, throw the ball to me. They're not going to tackle me. They're not going to cover me.
Yeah.
I'm going to win this game for you. And Brady just said, oh, okay, fine. So he just basically threw the ball to him, 3 or 4 times in a row?
Yeah, like 2 times.
Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. And I absolutely agree with the Steelers that they had to go for the touchdown in that situation. Okay?
Yeah.
I would not had there been a 4th down, I would not have kicked the field goal.
Right.
I would have gone for the touchdown.
I would have gone for the touchdown,
because let's be honest, if you go into overtime, okay, the New England Patriots were going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, there was a good chance, yeah.
The only question was who would win the coin flip. And you have a 50-50 chance of winning the coin flip. It is not a 100% chance that the Steelers were going to go down the field and score a touchdown, not with Antonio Brown not in the lineup. And that's another thing. For God's sake, can we have one game where the Steelers have Brown, Roethlisberger, and Le'Veon Bell on the team on the field for the whole game? I mean, it amazes me how fortunate New England always seems to be when they play Pittsburgh. And I know that they don't always have Gronkowski on there too. I get that. So that I can just see New England fans saying, "Well, we don't always have Gronk," and they're right. They're right. But wouldn't it be nice just one time to see Pittsburgh with everybody in the lineup healthy and playing to see who's going to win this game? I mean, it would just be, and again, I don't know, without Shazier, I think the defense, I don't see how the defense can ever stop New England in a big spot.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you, right now, with all the injuries and now with Brown going down, I think at this point in time, Tom Brady's going to be the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how he can't be.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Honestly, I mean, now Brown got hurt. Wentz got hurt.
Jeez, it's like we're in bizarre world.
Aaron
it's
Rodgers
crazy.
got hurt. I mean, all these guys get hurt. Who's left?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you don't want to give you could have given it to Antonio Brown, but he's hurt. I'm not going to give the MVP to Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I think Bell would deserve it more than Roethlisberger.
Yeah, definitely Bell.
But I'll be honest with you. Right now, I think the MVP is going to be Tom Brady.
It's going to be Tom Brady regardless.
I mean, unless he gets hurt too, but he's going to end up with the best numbers again, and they're going to be 13-3, and they're going to be probably in the AFC Finals, and I'd be shocked if that team isn't in the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. This team's well equipped for the Super Bowl, the Pats.
And the thing that scares me about the Eagles is that if they don't get their defense fixed, okay, I know the Patriots defense is not as good as it's been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but I don't think Nick Foles is good enough to beat Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
It'll be a miracle for Foles to beat Brady.
And I know everybody's going to sit there and start with, "Oh, Brad, you're a Giant fan, so you're picking on the." I hate the. Let me tell you something, guys. I hate the Patriots. Okay, I can't stand them. I'm a Yankee fan. Anything from Boston, as far as I'm concerned, is useless garbage. So understand where this is coming from, okay? I always try to be fair. I don't want to get. I know that these guys are always getting mad at me, but I'm just being honest here.
Right.
I mean, do you think you guys can beat the Patriots with Nick Foles in there if your defense is playing mediocre football? I mean, the game's not going to be in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, you got a tough crowd.
Neutral field. You're going to have to go to Minnesota, and you're going to have to find a way to win. And I don't know how many. I'm sure the Eagles fans will represent their team real well, but
they will.
But it's not a home game.
I mean, especially that whoever's going to be the favorite, it all comes down. It's like Nick Foles in the playoffs. Is he going to be a Jeff Hostetler or a Connor Cook? And come playoff time, we hope he's going to play it like the former.
Well, I think the Eagles can score between 24 and 27 points in the Super Bowl with Foles. But my concern is I think the Patriots can score in the 30s.
Right.
And if that's the case, I just don't know how they're going to win. And boy, I wouldn't want to be around. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to be around this city if Brady beats the Eagles again. they will be so annoyed, and and I would feel bad for you guys because it's been a long time.
It has
with this team, and if they had wins, this wouldn't even be.
It wouldn't be much of a concern.
Discussion because they've blown everybody away, and even me with my big mouth, I can't say anything bad about the Eagles when Wentz is playing. I mean, he's been that good.
All right.
So at this point, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Okay, we're back, everybody, and we're gonna move on from the NFL, and we're gonna get to the bowl games. And Frank, you're more of a college bowl game kind of guy than I am. So I'm gonna throw some of these games to you, and
Okay.
give me a quick opinion. And
All right.
we'll give these games to you guys because obviously next week's Christmas, so we're not going to be
Christmas
heard.
is going to be tough.
Yeah, we're not going to be heard then. So I'm going to start with some of the games that probably nobody cares about. But what the heck? What the heck? We might as well just go through them all real quick.
All right.
I'm going to start with let's see. We've already had some of these games played, but let's see. Let's start with Temple against Florida International.
Temple against FIU. Man.
Now it's the line right now is 7 points for Temple is giving 7.
Temple is giving 7. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to give Florida International a nod. I haven't been impressed with Temple this year. I know they're going to take the step back after Matt Rule left for Baylor. So I'm going to give Florida International the nod on that one.
Okay. Next we have UAB against Ohio, and
All right.
you know Ohio is favored by 7.5 points.
I'm surprised that Ohio's being favored right now. I mean, I love the story right now with UAB, their first season back after their program got shut down. I really like what UAB has done so far this season. I want the storybook ending to happen, so I'm giving the nod to UAB.
Okay, and then we have Central Michigan and Wyoming, and this is a pick'em, so this is going to be a tough one.
It is going to be a tough one. Right now, Wyoming actually has a pretty good defense. They've allowed, I think they are 17th in total defense so far this year. But the offense, I'm not too happy with the offense, especially if Josh Allen, being a highly touted quarterback prospect, he hasn't had a great year so far. But I think if the Wyoming defense really wows everybody against a scrappy Central Michigan team, I mean, I'm gonna give the nod to Wyoming right as of right now. I know it's a pick'em, but got to give it to Wyoming.
Okay, and then now this should be a real good one, guys. Texas Tech against South Florida.
That is
Can't wait for that one.
That is a good game.
South Florida has really been a fun team, and you know what? Now they're playing with the big boys. Can
They
they
are.
handle Texas Tech? Because they're favored by 2.5.
I think they can handle Texas Tech. I know that the South Florida defense, I know there's a lot of NFL talent on that team right now. And, of course, you look at the quarterback position, you have Quentin Flowers, who's been having a pretty good season this year.
Boy, that team can score.
That team can score. They did come up with some very close wins.
You know who they remind me of? Remember the Hawaii Rainbows?
Oh, yes, the Rainbows with Colt Brennan, right?
Yeah, with the
man.
Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
They run the same offense as they used to run.
They do, yeah.
And they score a ton of points. And like the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors used to be, they give up a heck of a lot of points,
They
too.
do give up a lot of points.
But, man, they are good.
They are a good team, and I know South Florida. They want to put a good cap on this season. I know that they've been opening the season as early favorites to win the American. It didn't happen. It had to go to the team that was a little bit further north with UCF taking home the American. So I think South Florida is gonna put a cap on that season. Go 10-2.
Okay, and let's see. I'm not going to bother with Appalachian State against Toledo. That's a stupid game. Houston and Fresno State, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, here's one that I'd be interested in.
All right.
Utah and West Virginia.
Ooh, interesting one. Let's see. I haven't been really following Utah
West
that much.
Virginia is a 7-point underdog. By
7-point underdog. Wow.
I would take them.
I would definitely
I
take
would
West
take the 7
Virginia
points.
with the spread. So, I mean, I'm going to give the nod to West Virginia. I mean, I like what Will Greer has done, making that comeback here after spending almost an entire year being suspended due to what was he got caught with having like some illegal substance in his system.
Oh boy.
But I mean, I think it came from like medicine or something.
Oops. Yeah, we all know what kind of medicine
Yeah.
that they can be. Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
I got to give West Virginia the nod and give them the spread.
Okay, Duke and Northern Illinois, I don't really care.
I don't care about that
Nah,
one.
Kansas State and UCLA should be an interesting one.
That is going to be an interesting one. I know I'll be watching that one. My father, he's an alumnus of Kansas State. Emo!
Josh Rosen, that's a big game for him.
But it is going to be an important one for Josh Rosen. I know the Kansas State defense, they have had themselves some good games so far.
UCLA is a 2.5-point underdog.
2.5-point underdog. Wow. No, man, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, I mean, I've seen a bunch of Kansas State games. I have not been impressed with the K-State offense. So if Josh Rosen gets a good game, I think I'm going to take UCLA on this one. Sorry, Dad.
He'll forgive you, I'm sure.
He'll forgive me.
Okay, Southern Miss and Florida State.
All right.
And the line is 16.5.
For Florida State.
Florida State's favored by 16.5. That seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot for
Florida
a team
State
that has disappointed so far.
They were. I mean, are they going to show up in a bowl game?
I think they'll show up at the bowl game.
Because sometimes these teams that have frustrating regular seasons just come out and lay an egg in the bowl games.
Yeah. But I think with this Florida State team, I know they're going to get ready for the new era with Willie Taggart. So I'm gonna give it to Florida State.
Okay.
But I don't think they're going to cover the spread though.
Okay. I have to put this game in, even though I hate to give any respect to anybody from Boston, but Iowa versus Boston College, and the line is only 2.5. I think Iowa blows them out.
I think Iowa will blow Boston College out of the water.
Yeah, I think they're going to annihilate them.
Yeah.
Okay, Arizona against Purdue, and Purdue's only getting 4. I think Arizona wins this one.
I think
easily.
I mean Jeff Brom. He's been a great offensive-minded coach. Arizona. I mean they've been hit and miss so far.
Purdue lost to Rutgers.
They did lose to Rutgers, and if you lose to Rutgers, you're going to lose a bowl game in my book. So give me Purdue, not Purdue, Arizona.
Thank you, because I was going to say, I'm sorry, if you lose to Rutgers, you shouldn't even be. There should be a special rule that if you lose to Rutgers, you shouldn't be
or an FCS
school. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's amazing that they got into a bowl game.
Right.
Jeez. Texas versus Missouri. And Missouri is 2.5-point underdogs.
2.5-point underdogs. I mean, Texas, they've been really extremely disappointing.
But they lost some real close games, though.
They did.
They almost beat USC.
Yeah, almost beat USC. I mean you almost beat Maryland. You almost beat Oklahoma State. I think Texas is going to hang on, so I'm going to give the nod to Texas. I think Tom Herman needs to finish that season strong, so give me to the Horns.
Okay, and then we have Virginia and Navy.
Virginia and Navy. Man, I believe that's a coin toss game, right?
It's -1 for Navy. Navy is a 1-point favorite.
Navy's the 1-point favorite.
Yep.
Man. I mean, Bronco Mendenhall, he's good with his pick-and-play defense style. Navy, I mean, he's still got the famous triple option from Ken Niumatalolo.
They're always fun. Navy is always fun to watch.
They are. Both service academies are fun to watch. Or all 3 service academies, excuse me. They've been fun to watch. I'm gonna go with Navy on this one. I think the triple offense is still going to be a challenge for Virginia. So I'm gonna give it to Navy.
Okay, here's one that should be fun. Now I'm going to skip over Virginia Tech and Oklahoma State because I don't really care. Don't really care about Stanford. Well, Stanford and TCU should be a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
Who do you like there?
That's
a tough one.
That is a tough one.
TCU is a 2.5-point favorite.
You know what? I'm going to agree with the pickers. I'm going to go with TCU with the win.
Okay, now here's another one that's going to be a tough one. Washington State and Michigan State.
Ooh.
Michigan State is getting 2.5 points.
They're getting 2.5 points.
So Washington State's I think Washington State's going to win, but
I do like Washington State's defense. I do like Luke Falk as their quarterback, another good quarterback prospect. So I'm probably going to give the nod to Wazoo in that one.
Okay. Now I'm going to skip over a few more games because there's just some games that That to me don't matter.
And a little shout out to the New Mexico State Aggies. For the first time in over 50 years, they finally made it to a bowl game.
They're going to be playing
crazy.
Utah State, and they're actually favored by 4.
Utah State?
No, New Mexico State.
The Aggies are favored to win. Wow.
Favored by 4.
Wow. Yeah, give me the Aggies on that one. Surprisingly, give me the Aggies to win a football game.
There you go. Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty.
The nitty-gritty.
Southern Cal and Ohio State.
Southern Cal, Ohio State.
I got to go with Ohio State here. I've seen enough of both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I think Southern Cal is going to score a lot of points.
It's going to be a high-scoring game. I'll say that.
Yeah,
but
the over/under is 64. I think it goes way over that.
Wow.
I see this game as a 42 to 35 kind of game.
I'm gonna see high scoring.
Whoever gets the ball last is going to win. Now, Ohio State is favored by 7.5.
7.5.
I think that's too many.
I think Ohio State's going to win by double digits on this one. I think it's going to be back and forth, but I think Ohio State, they're the more well-rounded team, and I think they're going to pull away.
Yeah,
in the fourth quarter.
As a college quarterback, I think J.T. Barrett is better than Darnold. If you're asking me who's going to be a better NFL quarterback,
it's going to be Darnold.
It's going to be Darnold because I think Darnold has more of the pro skills. I don't like running quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right. They're really hit and miss.
Yeah,
with the running quarterbacks.
It's really tough. It's really tough to gauge them because they also get hurt all the time.
They do.
Although I still maintain that Deshaun Watson is special, but we'll save that for another time.
Absolutely.
Okay. We have we're okay.
All right.
Louisville and Mississippi State.
Louisville, Mississippi State.
I'm not worried about that.
Not worried about that one.
And Iowa State and Memphis.
Washington. Memphis is going to roll Iowa State.
Okay, here's one for you.
Yeah.
Washington and Penn State.
Washington and Penn State.
Penn State is a slight 2-point favorite. That is going to be a very interesting game. Is Penn State going to come out and play?
I think they're going to come out and play.
Is this going to be Barkley's last game?
It's going to be Barkley's last game, hands down.
Okay. He's a junior, is he not?
Barkley?
I think is he a junior or is he?
I think he's a senior.
Oh, he is a senior. Okay.
He could be. Let me figure that out.
I thought he was a junior, but he's coming out.
He's a junior. But he is going to come out to.
Yeah. Well, they're saying he may be a first-round pick.
He is going to be the first-round pick. I think he's like a top 5 pick.
Yeah. No. They're saying the Browns may be dumb enough to pick a running back as the first pick, which. That would be just like the Browns to do that.
Yeah, it's the Browns' way. I mean, if you're the Browns, you do have the 1st and the 5th overall pick because of that trade with Houston.
Yes.
So
but don't you think you probably get Barkley at the 5th pick?
I think you take Barkley at the 5th, get a quarterback with the 1st overall pick.
I would think
surprisingly, another quarterback.
Yeah.
For the Browns stash.
Yes. Here's a good one: Wisconsin against Miami.
Ooh.
Wisconsin with a lot to both these teams really have a lot to prove. They both had pretty easy schedules this year.
Yeah.
They both had one loss. Miami needs to win this game to legitimize their season. Wisconsin not so much because Wisconsin gave Ohio State all they could handle.
They did.
So I think this is a big one for Miami.
It's a huge one for Miami. I mean, I want to see the return of the turnover chain. I just hope the offense can click and capitalize off the turnovers. So
Miami is 6.5 point underdogs.
6.5 underdogs.
If they get bopped by Wisconsin, I just think that their whole season is kind of a result of an easy schedule.
Right.
So they have a lot to prove. So does Michigan, and they're going to be facing South Carolina as a 7.5 point favorite.
Oh man, that's going to be a close one. I mean, my gut wants to go with Wisconsin, but my heart wants Miami. So it's a little bit of a coin toss for me. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Miami on this one.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I'll go with Miami.
Okay. How about now? Can Central Florida stay with Auburn?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Think so.
I think the loss of Scott Frost is I mean, some weird
Man,
timing
I
on
mean,
that one.
That's boy. I mean, I think they're way over their heads with this one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a good. Listen, don't get me wrong. They're a real good football team, but geez, Auburn is.
Auburn looks really good. So
Yeah, I mean-
I got to give the nod to Auburn.
Yeah, they're 9.5-point favorites, Auburn.
Yeah.
So I think they may win by more than that. And of course we have the big games. We have Notre Dame and LSU. LSU is a 3-point favorite.
Okay.
I think Notre Dame wins the game.
I think it's going to be an entertaining matchup. Josh Adams taking on Darius Geis, a battle of two high-profile running backs. You know what? I think LSU is going to get the win
Okay.
on that one.
Okay. And now here are the last four, the final four.
All right.
Okay, and you can give me a championship prediction because I don't know that we're going to be on New Year's Day either. So or
Right.
New Year's Eve. I don't know that. So let's get
That
this
all
out
depends.
of the way too. That'll we might and we might not, folks. It depends on the boss.
Yep.
Georgia and Oklahoma.
Georgia and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is a 2-point underdog.
Okay.
I'm a little surprised by that.
I'm not as surprised. I know Oklahoma was going to enter the game as an underdog. You got to give me Georgia on this one. I think Georgia is just better all around. I mean, Baker Mayfield, I know he's going to have the game of his life, but I got to give it to Georgia.
Okay, and Alabama and Clemson. Clemson is a 3-point underdog.
3-point underdog. You know what? I'm gonna go with Clemson on this one.
Okay, and then your final,
So Clemson
Georgia
versus Georgia.
and Clemson. Who do you
Ooh,
like?
man, that's a good one. That's gonna be a great matchup. I would
It is.
love to see the story of Georgia trying to capitalize on a national championship, and
Clemson's
Clemson.
really good, though.
but Clemson's really good.
Clemson is really good.
Oh man, you know what? Give me. Who did I pick in my pick'em? I think it was the winner of the Rose Bowl game. So I think Georgia's going to get the win. It's going to be close though.
Okay.
Probably within the last 2 minutes, we're probably going to figure out who's going to survive.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. From the Sports Hounds, our pick is going to be Georgia for the national championship. And I thank you for your
No problem.
predictions there, Frank. Now, I want to go to
Articles will be dropping. I'll be in the process of writing those articles soon. So keep an eye out for those on a2dradio.com.
Okay, and Rob Brinkman. Rob likes Iowa State outright, and Rob also thinks that Penn State is going to lose. So I just want to make sure that it's out there what Rob's picks are. And, Rob, if you want to pick a national champion, again, I don't know if we're going to be on Christmas Day or New Year's Day, so be my guest and go ahead and put it in there so we get your opinion. I'm not going to make a call because you guys know I'm not a big college football guy, so I don't want to sound silly and just make a pick for the sake of making a pick.
I'm a little bit surprised that Rob is going to go with Iowa State. I mean, Mike Norvell of Memphis.
They did beat Oklahoma.
They did beat and TCU when they were really high on their rankings. But I really like Memphis's offense. I think they're really high-powered, a really high-powered offense. But I think the biggest weakness for them is their secondary. But I think I'm going to take Memphis's offense over anything over Iowa State.
Okay, all right. I'm going to get to baseball and the hot stove now.
All right.
And the first thing I want to start with is obviously a team that's going to be, and we have Bob from Boonton, and he likes Clemson. So I am going to give Clemson the edge there. Thanks, Bob, and I appreciate that. At this point, as I said, I'm going to go to the hot stove, and let's start.
Okay.
Let's start with the New York Yankees, and I want to also get the Phillies in here as well to start.
All right.
Okay. The Yankees making that trade with the Miami Marlins for Giancarlo Stanton.
Man,
That is a big time, and I'll tell you what.
that's huge.
The crazy thing about this trade is that the Yankees had no interest in Giancarlo Stanton.
Right.
They weren't even. I mean, they checked in like any good team would check in, but they weren't thinking about Giancarlo Stanton. And then all of a sudden, Giancarlo Stanton says, well, I don't want to play for the Cardinals, and I don't want to play for the Giants. And, the only teams I'm going to play for are either the Dodgers, the Angels, the Yankees, or the Astros. No, I'm sorry, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Yankees, or the Astros. Well, the Dodgers are way over the cap, so they can't afford to do that. The Astros they can say whatever they want about them being the fourth largest market in the country. They're still a small market team when it comes to the salary cap. So they're not going to be adding another $25 million to their payroll. This deal kind of fell into the laps of the Yankees. They really weren't having to negotiate against anybody. So the Yankees are able to get Giancarlo Stanton, and really they didn't give up. They gave up Starlin Castro, who's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
But Starlin Castro cannot play second base. He's not a good second baseman at all.
Right.
And yes, he can hit. He'll give you the 300 batting average, but his defense is not good. And at this point now, they're going to be in a position where they can get rid of him, get rid of his $7 million in salary. They can plug in Gleyber Torres, who's the second or first best, depending on where you look, prospect in baseball at this point. So at this point, they're counting on Gleyber Torres to carry the mail at second base. I think that was a great trade. I mean, they didn't have to give up, as I said, they didn't have to give up any of their top prospects. Mm-hmm. So kudos to the Yankees for that one.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And again, it really kind of fell into their laps.
It kind of did. I mean, it's the Yankees. They somehow get these high-profile players.
But
crazy.
In this particular instance, they were not looking to be the trophy hunter.
Right.
Usually they are, and I'll call it as I see it as far as that goes. But he just kind of fell into their laps.
Yeah.
So
it definitely gives the Yankees a huge opportunity, huge edge to win the 2018 World Series, and I would not be surprised.
Well, right now they're 5-1, so they are the favorites. Yeah. Rob, by the way, likes Oklahoma over Alabama, and the Braves took a big step forward by taking all the Dodgers' bad contracts, and you're right, Rob. Yeah. That's something that Rob just sent in, and we'll get to that in a second. I do want to mention also the Yankees picked up Sabathia, which will be good for the back end of the rotation.
Absolutely.
And that's all for the Yankees. I don't want to start boring you guys with that because I know you guys are going to get angry with me, so I'm going to give you a break with that. Okay? I do want to commend the Phillies with Carlos Santana.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much you guys have seen of Carlos Santana being National League fans.
Right.
This guy is a big-time
It's a huge
hitter.
It's a huge move.
Guys, this is a guy who has power to both left field and right field. He's kind of a he's a guy that gets a lot of walks. He's kind of like a poor man's Aaron Judge. He doesn't. Yeah. He'll strike. He's going to strike out, but he walks. He's one of the few sluggers though that will walk more than he strikes out. He'll walk probably 100 times and he'll strike out 95 times. Mm-hmm. As opposed to Judge, who will walk 100 and who walked, I think, last year 125 times and struck out 200 times. So I mean, but it's not unreasonable to think. I know he only had 22 home runs last year. I get it, but he's had 34 home run seasons.
Yeah.
I think in Philadelphia, in that stadium, I think he's going to be
it's definitely going to be
player.
And it's definitely one of those veterans we need in part of that process.
Listen, Frank, you guys want to be big players next
We
year.
do, yeah.
Okay, you got to start bringing in signing some free agents.
Yeah, we got to make a huge step with free agency.
I was getting real tired of Philly fans telling me how great their farm system was, and
our farm system is great, but we're not going to expect something to happen like
you're not going to get no, but you might have a pretty good team, but you can't expect free agents to come here if you don't bring a couple in now. You have to really be a 500 team this year, guys.
Absolutely.
You really do. You want to start competing with teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers for free agents and the Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. you want to start competing with those teams,
Mm-hmm.
you got to start bringing in some guys and have
I
have this a desirable place to play.
And I do believe that Santana is the first step.
I do too. And I made this morning on Facebook. I made a way too early prediction about guys where I think they're going to sign, and I think that I think that I made a few selections. I know I got a little static for a couple of them, but
Right.
I'm going to announce them now, and
Okay.
you guys can give me your opinions later on it. But I have a reason for each one of them if anyone wants to choose to battle me on these. But I'm going to start with Bryce Harper. And
Okay.
I think that Bryce Harper is going to end up with the Dodgers. The Dodgers made that big move on Saturday, and Rob brought that up, where they dumped Adrian Gonzalez, they dumped Brandon McCarthy, and I can't remember who else they dumped on them. But the Braves took some salary, but they also took a couple of like a guy like Brandon McCarthy is going to help them. I think they also took another pitcher. I just can't remember who it was, but this is going to help the Braves without question. But it's really going to help the Dodgers because now they're set at under $197 million.
Yeah.
They're now at the cap threshold, which tells me that they can now be in a position where they can go out and spend the bucks.
Right.
Bryce Harper is from the West Coast. I know he's a Yankee fan,
Yep.
but I don't think the Yankees are going to have the need to bring in Bryce Harper.
I don't think.
The Yankees have so many outfielders.
And you have John Carlos Stanton as well,
you have
and you have Mike and Aaron Judge.
You have Stanton in left. You can have Stanton in left. You're going to have Judge in right.
Right.
Okay. Maybe not this year. Maybe this year because we still have Gardner and we have Aaron Hicks. Perhaps Stanton will be on the bench a little bit more as a designated hitter than a left fielder. But at some point he's going to be out in left field. I would think after Gardner plays out its option this year, Stanton is going to be your left fielder, and then Hicks will be the center fielder. There is no need, especially when you have Esteval Florial, who is one of the highest-ranked outfielders as per MLB, to come up. He's about 2 years away. They're expecting him to be the center fielder in 2019. There is no reason to go out and spend $40 million a year on Bryce Harper. Manny Machado, I think he's going to end up a Yankee.
Really?
I know you guys are trying to get him. I understand that they're trying to trade. The Phillies are trying to trade for him. I just think when push comes to shove, the Orioles are not going to trade Manny Machado to the Yankees. But if he does not sign an extension wherever he goes, the Yankees are going to end up getting him. The Yankees need a third baseman. I think they're going to play Andujar there this year. They might try to get Brandon Drury from the Diamondbacks. I've heard some rumors about that. But when push comes to shove, when the smoke clears, I see Manny Machado as a Yankee. Charlie Blackmon, I think he's going to be in Philly.
Really?
I think Dallas Keuchel. I think Dallas Keuchel is also going to be in Philly. I see these two guys. I see these two beards coming here.
Wow.
Taking a lot of money, but I see him as being the ace, Keuchel. I think he comes over here and is the ace. I think Blackmon is going to be your outfielder who can play center field and slug 40 home runs in Philly. As far as the difference between Coors Field and Philly, I don't think there's much of a difference.
Not much of a difference. I mean,
nope.
Other than altitude, I mean, that's the only thing.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? Philly is a home run hitter's paradise.
It is a hitter's park.
And in case you didn't notice last year, Charlie Blackmon, when he came here, he put on a show.
He did.
I think he comes here. I think Keuchel comes here. I think these are the two guys that the Phillies end up getting. I know you guys want Machado, but I do think that these are two guys. I don't think the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox, for that matter, are going to be looking out to try to get these guys. I think this is what's going to end up happening.
I know with trading for Machado, it's going to be a lot of unloading for prospects. I mean, I don't know what the Orioles want.
Oh, they want all your top prospects.
They want our guys like Sixto Sanchez. They want like Mickey Moniak and Scott Kingery. I mean,
yeah, they want all.
They want them all, but
for 1 year. And you know what?
Yeah.
Manny Machado is not signing an extension anywhere.
There's no way he's
not going to sign an extension. He isn't. Okay, it's the same thing with Bryce Harper. Neither one of these guys are going to sign an extension. Clayton Kershaw, he's going to stay with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Dodgers are going to spend their $80 million extra a year. They're going to bring in Harper. They're going to bring in Kershaw. I think the Yankees end up signing Gio Gonzalez. I think he's going to be the bargain. I think that the Yankees at this point are not going to – I don't think Keuchel is going to want to play in Yankee Stadium. He just doesn't seem to me like a New York guy. I think he's going to want to play. I think Philly is perfect for him. He can keep his beard. And you know what? I think they will love him down here. And he reminds me a lot of Bill Lee. He's got that – not Bill Lee. I'm sorry. Cliff Lee. Bill Lee is the spaceman, and we'll –
Love the spaceman.
Yeah, but I think that he kind of reminds me a lot of Cliff Lee. I think Philly is made for him, and I think that's where he's going to end up.
Right.
And as I said, I think Blackman comes here too. Nelson Cruz, I think he's going to be with the Red Sox.
Okay.
He's going to be the DH. Okay. And I'm trying to think some of the other guys Adam Jones, I could see Adam Jones signing with the Red Sox because I think they're going to be sick and tired of watching Jackie Bradley Jr. not hit, even though he's a great fielder.
Great fielder.
The only thing,
they need some bats.
The only thing I wonder about is the racial situation because they were very, very rude to him in Boston.
Absolutely, that was inexcusable.
That was
with what happened.
But you know what? I think money will make that go away because in the end, money is what matters, and I think the Red Sox will want a Gold Glove level center fielder who can hit 30 home runs, and I think at that point it's going to happen. I don't see them trading Jackie Bradley Jr. And as far as J.D. Martinez this year, I think the Red Sox have basically said maybe we'll get you and maybe we won't. But they've already signed Mitch Moreland to play first base for 2 years, $13 million. So Eric Hosmer is not going to be a Royal. J.D. Martinez does not want a DH.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the Red Sox bringing him in to play the outfield. The Red Sox right now have Benintendi in left, and they have Mookie Betts in right. There is no way that you're going to put J.D. Martinez in center. He can't play center.
Not a chance, no.
He's a terrible outfielder. I don't think you can put him in right in Fenway Park either, to be honest with you, because Fenway Park's right field is like Yankee Stadium's left field. You can't put a bad fielder in right field. That right field is way too big. That would be a bad move. So I think that you're going to find that J.D. Martinez may not sign with the Red Sox. And I'm counting on him not signing with the Red Sox. That is why I'm thinking Nelson Cruz next year, he will be their DH. So, I mean, I do have a method to the madness here.
Right.
And again, guys, this is strictly my opinion. I don't mean to be rude to any one team, but I think this is where the top players are going. And finally, my last pick is Craig Kimbrell, who is the best relief pitcher in baseball right now, and I think he will go to the Washington Nationals, and he will finally resolve the bullpen problem in Washington.
Okay.
What do you think of these?
Very interesting. I like that.
Now again,
I love your reasoning. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, all right, I gotta hear what the reasoning was.
Yeah, again, I didn't just make these predictions just because.
Right.
Oh, I want the Yankees to get Machado. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'd like the Yankees to get Harper, Machado, and Kershaw. Yeah. What the hell? But I mean, being realistic, no, that's not going to happen. The Yankees will probably get one. Mm-hmm. They'll probably get Machado because they'll need
get
Machado.
Somebody. Yeah.
They're probably going to get Machado because they're going to probably need a third baseman. And they're not going to go get Kershaw, and they're not going to get Keuchel. If you guys think Keuchel's coming to New York, no way. He's not going to want to. He's going to want to play in the National League where the hitters aren't as good, and he's going to want to play in a big market. Philadelphia is a big market.
Huge market.
Okay, he's not going to go to the Cubs. The Phillies have all this money that they can pay right now. The Cubs are going to get Josh Donaldson. I didn't even get to that one yet. I forgot about him. That's my other prediction. The Cubs have been trying to get Josh Donaldson. In case anybody hasn't noticed, they've been after Josh Donaldson from the get-go in this offseason to play third base for them. They want to move Chris Bryant to left. And I know what I'm talking about because I read this stuff every day, guys.
Okay.
Mark my words, next season, Josh Donaldson, if it doesn't happen this season, Josh Donaldson's playing third base for the Chicago Cubs, and Chris Bryant is going to move to left field. Mark my words, it will happen.
All right, but if it backfires, You know when our shows are live and everything backfires, yeah, you have to owe up to it if it doesn't happen. So
Rob doesn't seem to think that he's better, that Kimbrel's better than Kenley Jansen. Well, Rob, I'll say this. Last year, Kimbrel was really good. So, and I didn't watch Kenley Jansen that much in the National League. I know you've probably seen Kimbrel in the National League and not that much with the Red Sox. Craig Kimbrel was really good last year. He was as dominant a relief pitcher as I've seen in a long time out there since Mariano. He was really good last year.
Yeah.
And now he blew a couple of games late because the Red Sox used him a ton. They were using him. They were bringing him in 3 days in a row. They were bringing him into tie games. So, I mean, that was a lot. So, I do think that's where it is. And, at this point, as I said, there's a lot more free agents, guys, that we could discuss. These are the ones that I think are going to happen. So, if anybody has a disagreement with me and you want to chat about it on Facebook, that's fine. But, again, I have a reason for every pick I have. So, you can go along with it or you can think I'm nuts. That's fine. I'm not trying to do any home cooking here because if I was doing home cooking, I'd say, "Ooh, the Yankees are going to get Bryce Harper because he's a Yankee fan." But we know that's not going to happen. The Dodgers didn't get to reset their cap so that they can sit and watch everybody else sign free agents. Okay, and also they're not going to be able to get more than two guys because the two guys they're going to get their boy Kershaw back.
Yep,
probably 35 to 40 mil a year. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And Harper, 35 to 40 mil a year.
Yeah.
That's $80 million.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot.
That's 80. That's $80 million extra dollars. That's it. They're not going to spend any more money than that. That's it. They're done. They're going to be done spending. So, and Garrett Cole, I'm saying to the Yankees, no, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Leave it alone.
Huh.
Leave it alone. You want to get a pitcher, wait till the trade deadline. And not be trading Clint Frazier and one of your top pitching prospects for Garrett Cole. Not with a 4.26 ERA in Pittsburgh in the National League. He'll end up with a 7 ERA in the American League having to face a DH. Real quick, I want to get to hockey, guys.
Okay.
Real quick, I want to give kudos to the
the Vegas Golden Knights.
The Vegas Golden Knights, who are now in first place.
Wow.
What a story that is.
That is something.
The Winnipeg Jets, who are playing super hockey. The Philadelphia Flyers are making some noise, winning 5 in a row, and we just want to make sure that I just let everybody know that the Penguins right now are not in the playoffs, folks.
Good.
Isn't
Keep
that
them out of
great?
the playoffs.
The Flyers have won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They're not that good to be a 5 in a row winning team.
Right.
But they're not bad enough to be a 10 in a row losing team either.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of in the middle.
Yeah, they're definitely one of those middle of the road teams.
Yeah, I don't think that they are going to make the playoffs this year. I could be wrong, but I just don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs.
I mean, I had the Flyers going into this year. I mean, my expectations, they were probably going to be a wild card team at best. I mean, there was no way they were going to claim the Metropolitan. Yeah. But
I think
a wild card team is at best.
I think the Devils are in.
The Devils.
I think the Devils are going to make it. They're playing great hockey. I think that the Rangers are going to make it. The Islanders, I think, could be the one team that's looking in, on the outside looking in. I do think the Penguins will get straightened out. My problem with the Islanders,
Penguins fashion.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I just can't imagine that it's going to continue. I don't like the Islanders' defense and their goaltending.
Right.
They score a lot of goals, but they give up too many goals. And when they play good defensive teams, in February and March, when everybody starts tightening up, I just don't know that they have the goaltending and defense to compete every night. I mean, Boychuk is starting to get old. Letty is still great, but the rest of their defense is very shaky.
Yeah.
I think that the Islanders right now, in my opinion, look like the odd team out. Frank, do we have any time left, or are we done?
We got about 1 minute to go.
Okay. NBA, on Christmas Day, I believe the Knickerbockers are going to be playing the Philadelphia 76ers.
They are. I know I'll be trying to watch that game depending on what my schedule is. I know I'm going to have family over on Christmas Day, and then I have to head over to work later on that day. I'll be working over at the Eagles-Raiders game.
Okay. I'll tell you what. These are two of the funner teams to watch in the league. I know my partner Rob was saying doesn't think the Knicks, doesn't think the Knicks are all that good. Yada 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 yada. They're 16-13. They've been the surprise of one of the big surprises of the league. Right now, the Sixers are what? They're 500.
I believe they are 500, if not over 500. I didn't look at their record right now, but
I think the Sixers and the Knicks are an interesting story, and it's going to be a real fun game on Christmas Day. Hopefully, Porzingis will be back and healthy to play that game.
Yep.
Hopefully, Embiid will be playing, and there won't be any issues. It'll be real fun to watch these teams play, and I hope Hardaway plays also. Can't wait to see that game. Just want to tell you my thanks to Frank for filling in for Rob.
No problem.
Hopefully, we'll see Rob in a couple of weeks.
Hopefully.
And I thank you all for listening, and have a great holiday, everybody. This is Brad Ryer.
And this is Frank Fesby. This is the Sport Hounds, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios, bmwac.com, and our other sponsor, Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountant. You can visit them at gibsonmayer.com to figure out your tax needs, because I know tax season is away. Thank you for listening to the Sports Hounds on a2dradio.com.